Hello everybody, Mr. Happy here, and today we're going to be going over the information that was revealed in the special edition of the live letter. Now, this edition mostly went over the pre-order bonuses and the collector's edition, common questions and answers. Some of the answers some of you aren't going to like. I'm going to be honest right up front here. But before we get to that, I want to give a special thank you to Marco Turn, the Twitch handle that helped translate that today. He got on Skype with me and we did a voiceover live translation. He was just covering the important things Yoshi P was saying so that everyone understood it. I was typing down the results here, as you can see. I am going to include a link to both the unofficial translation and the official translation. There are some differences between the two, so I want to go over both of them to cover the more important details, especially regarding content directly involving patch 2.55, because we did get a lot of information about that I've been getting questions about pretty often lately. So anyway, let's go over the official translation first, because there's really not too much to show. Now there's a bunch of pictures here. While I'm going through the notes, I'm going to put the pictures over the screen so that everybody can see them. Mostly pictures of box art and the collector's edition, standard edition, the all-in-one edition. So let's get right into it. So first up, we have the release information. We already know Heavensward is going to be launching on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2015, with early access being June 19th, just several days before. So, please note that users that play A Realm Reborn on Steam will need to purchase the Steam version of Heavensward. So those of you who use Steam, I've been getting a lot of questions about that. There will be a Steam version of Heavensward, so do not worry. So then we have the packages and the pricing information. Again, there's a lot of different pictures here. It's just the slides that they were using to kind of describe it. So we have multiple versions of it. I'm actually going to click it as well so I can go over them. We have the Collector's Edition, we have the Standard Edition, and then we have the All-in-One Edition, which is the Final Fantasy XIV Online Bundle. We also have the packaged version and the digital download version, so there will be two different versions of the game as well. Now, I do have some special notes about the Mac version. So the Mac version will only be available as an all-in-one bundle when it launches, and additionally, it will only be available as a digital download because they're probably assuming there aren't a great deal of Mac users. They're not making a box for the Mac. They're just going to have it online and you're going to be able to download it. So the Windows version of the game is, whoop, it didn't load. Windows Collector's Edition, the boxed version is going to be $129.99. So a lot of people have been saying that's super expensive, and it is, rightfully. And it's a great deal more expensive than the digital download deluxe edition, which is only $60. The digital deluxe version is $60. And the reason why it's $130, so you have the game priced at $40. The digital contents are obviously worth $20 because the digital deluxe version is only $20 more than the actual game. So those are worth $20. You then have a statue, the actual box itself, which is obviously going to cost a little bit more money. You have an art book, and there's also going to be a Blu-ray movie disc that has all the trailers for like patches for all of the A Realm Reborn trailers, the patch 2.55 unique trailer, probably the Heavensward trailer as well. So we have all of that. So I'm putting my price values at the statue being $30, the art book being maybe worth $20, and the Blu-ray being worth $20. It ultimately comes out to about $130. I know it's a steep price, but considering what's inside of it, I completely understand the price. But for those of you not getting the physical edition of the game, you can just get the digital deluxe version. It will come with the in-game items that are included, which we'll be going over later in this video. So next we have the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 details and pricing. PlayStation 4 Collector's Edition and the PlayStation 3 Collector's Edition. The boxed version is going to be $130, and the digital download will also be $60. So the prices are exactly the same. The thing is, if you're in Europe, the PlayStation 3 version won't have a Collector's Edition. So that's only the PlayStation 3 version in Europe. All the other editions will be perfectly fine, but PlayStation 3 will only have the digital deluxe version. They will not have the physical Collector's Edition. PlayStation 4 and PC are going to be fine in Europe, though. Then we also have some pictures of the different box arts. We have the standard edition box art for the different regions, as you can see here. We also have, well, what else is this? We have the PlayStation 4 version packaging in particular. So for the most part, it's all the same. We have the Windows packaging, the PlayStation 4 packaging, and then the PlayStation 3 packaging, which, you know, not too different. The only difference is the PlayStation 3 one isn't here for the PlayStation 3 for Europe, because in Europe, it's, you know, it's only the digital version, so you don't get box art. Then there's also the all-in-one bundle. That was, we heard about this about a week ago. It's a bundle that contains the original game, A Realm Reborn, and the expansion, Heavensward. The boxed version is going to be $60, and the digital download is going to be $60. So they're basically the same. the same price, which makes sense. The original game probably being valued at about $20 here, with the expansion being valued at $40. Makes sense for me. Surprised to see that the box edition costs the same still, but I mean, if anything, that just means it doesn't matter where you get it. It's just all up to if you want the box or not. The PlayStation 4 version, same deal, 60 and 60. PlayStation 3 version, same deal, 60 and 60. Just remember that the PlayStation 3 version is a digital download for Europe. Mac version also. Now, some interesting details about the Mac version, like we already said, it's only going to be available as a digital download. It's going to be $60, and it's going to be the all-in-one edition. So if you're planning on playing the game in Mac, you are only going to be able to buy the all-in-one edition. Now, as for the actual collector's edition, they showed off everything that we're going to be getting with it, physical and not. So I've mentioned these before, but you have the unique box art, the giant box that's going to be coming in depicting the Dragon Song War. That's the first bonus. The second bonus is a little figurine that it comes with. Now, when they showed it off on stream, it looked to be about the size of an adult male hand. So it's not super big, but it's still pretty sizable and has a lot of detail in it. So please look forward to it. Hi. You have the art book for Heavensward, which is pretty standard when it comes to Final Fantasy Collector's Edition. Some sort of art book. You know they love those kind of things. We also have the, what's this called? The Eorzea in Motion, A Realm Revisited. This is the A Realm Reborn Blu-ray disc. Comes with all the trailers and whatnot that I mentioned before. You can see sort of a depiction of it on the front of the Blu-ray itself. And then we also have, now those are all the physical items. Then we have the in-game items. Now all of these in-game items will come with the digital deluxe version, so don't worry about that. First you have the flying griffin mount. Now I know that this griffin mount, we've discussed it before, in my opinion, it doesn't look that good right here. In the recent trailers that have been coming out, I actually think the griffin mount looks amazing. I don't think this is a very good depiction of it. Now keep in mind the flying griffin mount, before you can actually use it, you need to unlock flying, which is similar to how before you could use the coral mount from the collector's edition, the 2.0, you needed to have your first mount unlocked. So it's pretty much the same deal. And they can only be used in the new areas that are included in Heavensward. We also have the Dark Knight themed Cecil themed Baron Helm, so that's something that we're going to be getting. We have a wind-up Kain minion for those of you who love Kain and Cecil together. And then, of course, you're going to be getting a Fantasia with the Collector's Edition as well. That is to encourage you to switch between the Al-Ra and whatever race you are now. Fantasia is already valued at $10, so technically the mount, the helm, and the minion are all being, I guess, lugged together at about a $10 value. It's not that bad. It's actually a pretty good price considering, what the Odin mount costs on the cash shop. So that's it for the Collector's Edition. Now for pre-order information. So for those of you who don't know, pre-orders for the game start on March 16th, 2015. Now, depending on where you live in the world, it's at a different time. It's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. European stores at 7 a.m. GMT. This might change depending on if you're getting it directly from Square Enix or if you're getting it from other retailers. And in Japan, it's going to be starting right at midnight. Now, there are some pre-order bonuses that you can get as well. So these are, obviously, a pre-order is technically free. You're paying the cost of the game. So it adds a little bit more value to pre-ordering the game. You're going to get a Baron Circlet and Baron Earrings, which you can see in this picture right here. And you're also going to get a minion, the Chocobo Chick Courier, little flying black chocobo with the little courier hat. I like it. Also, something that you'll get when you pre-order any version of the game, any version, doesn't matter if it's standard or collectors, you will be getting early access to the game. You'll be able to start playing on June 19th, 2015. So if you don't remember what the errors were like back in the 2.0 early access and you missed that very important content, you're going to be able to re-experience that content here in Heavensward. For those of you who already experienced it, please look forward to it. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't finish the sentence on 90K. But anyway, there is a possibility that maintenance will occur during this early access period. By possibility, it's a damn sure certainty. Let's be real here. In order to enter, now this was a big piece of information. In order to enter Ishgard areas, plural, users must complete the main quest before the dawn, which will be introduced in patch 2.55. That is right. You do need to finish all of the story between 2.0 and 2.55 in order to access Ishgard areas. Now, the big question is, do we have to go through Ishgard to get to the Heavensward areas? That is a big question. One that we definitely need answered ASAP, because I'm hoping we can access Coerthan Western Highlands through Coerthas, so this can be skipped so you can see the new areas without even having access to Ishgard, but I know some people that aren't going to be too happy about that. Also, keep in mind that if you are a new player and you pre-order the all-in-one edition, it does not give you early access. I mean, not like you could do too much with the early access period, but I mean, it comes with the original version of the game. You're playing the original version when you get it, and then you need the time to actually catch up to the expansion areas. So just keep that in mind. All-in-one version does not have early access, which, since the Mac version can only pre-order the all-in-one, also means the Mac version won't have early access. So keep all of those things in mind. They are very, very important. Now, a big thing that has to be mentioned here. I'm actually going to finish reading this before I go. Let's not segue off just yet. So pre-order codes, they do a brief little thing where they're telling you, where to look for your pre-order code, whether it's in the email or on your receipt. If you've ever pre-ordered a game before, you kind of know what to expect when it comes to getting a pre-order code. Be sure to ask your retailer if you do not understand the way that it's going to work. Once you have the pre-order code, there will be a pre-order website. For those of us in NA and EU, it'll go live on Monday. Japanese registration for your pre-order codes won't happen until April, so keep that in mind. Now, there are some key dates that they go over, but really it's nothing big. They literally just reiterate March 16th pre-order, June 19th early access, June 23rd official service, and June 18th. Oh no, it says June 18th early access codes can be registered on the MOG station. They had something else. I'll try and find what it said, but there was another date that I remember them showing off in the presentation. Sorry about that. It's still early and I haven't had as much coffee as I need. So then they did various Q&As about it. Can I go to Ishcard right after purchasing Heavensward? No, you need to finish all the main story up to 2.55. Now this is a big one. I play on both Windows and PS4. What do I need to purchase? Now apparently for each platform you play the game on, you are going to need a different version of the game. You're like, if you play on both Windows and PS4, you're going to need to buy the expansion for both Windows and PlayStation 4. They say that it's because of licensing. Not exactly sure what that means. If the forums are in an outrage about it, we'll see. But one thing to keep in mind is if you're going to do that, only buy one collector's edition. The collector's edition items are bound to your entire service account, so you don't need to purchase two collector's editions. One collector's edition and one standard or digital version is perfectly fine. Also, keep in mind, don't log out in expansion areas on your PC and then try to log into your non-expansion registered PlayStation 4. It will actually disallow you from logging in if you try to do that, so be very careful. Also, if you have the 20 gigabyte model of the PlayStation 3, Heavensward alone is 20 gigabytes in size. So in other words, you need to upgrade the hard drive, get a better PS3, or preferably get a PlayStation 4. So if you're running on that 20 gigabytes, you're going to need to do some upgrades if you want to keep playing. So also purchase the collector's edition, but if I purchase the standard edition of Heavensward, so this next question is, if I have the collector's edition of the regular game, do I need to buy the collector's edition of Heavensward to get the bonuses? And the answer is yes. Technically, Heavensward is being kind of like a Realm Reborn was, even though it's an expansion of the already existing game, it's as much content as a brand new game, so it's treated as such. In other words, if you are going to have to buy the collector's edition of Heavensward to get collector's edition items. I know to some people it's silly that I have to say that, but I have gotten this question before, so I'm just saying it for clarification purposes. And keep in mind, all the items on the collector's edition will be distributed to all of your characters on the same account. Digital Collector's Edition upgrade also will be available later if you ever decide, hey, I bought the standard Heavensward, let me upgrade to the Digital Deluxe. But the pricing will be released at a later date. And finally, they announced that Before the Fall Part 2 will arrive on March 31st, 2015. Now, that took us about 14 minutes to get through all that information, so I'm going to go through very quickly some of the extra information that wasn't mentioned there. The big thing is the content that is actually coming in patch 2.55. So a lot of this is just the same thing going over. Here's my justification of the prices, the different box arts, the Mac version, just like Square Enix, to put boxes and boxes and boxes. It's like Final Fantasy XI menus all over again. Oh, those were the good old days. Anyway, so total contents include, this is all stuff that I've already said. None of this is new. What's really new is all the way down here. Yeah, see, this was the other date they gave. Sometime in April, there's the JP pre-order code registration site will go live. So that's another thing that was missed. All of this is still information that is exactly the same. Now, there's going to be a new live letter on April 11th. That is going to be the live letter 20, and it's going to show the opening cutscene for Heavensward, or the trailer, I guess you could say, kind of like an end of an era. And they're even going to be showing it in a cinema. It's invite only, but in a cinema in Japan. And as you can tell from my notes, I really want to go. Also, Nico Chokaigi is Saturday, April 25th. There's going to be even more Heavensward announcements there. So we're going to be pretty busy next month keeping up with all the new stuff. There's also, I should have turned my phone off. There's also the A Realm Reborn official walkthrough that's coming out in Japan on Tuesday, March 17th. Guess I need to get a new job because the walkthrough is going to take my job. Cute. I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. I'll still make videos. Of course I will. It's literally an A Realm Reborn walkthrough, not a Heavensward walkthrough. And of course, Before the Fall Part 2, March 31st, 2015. Now, here is where all the important information is. I'm actually going to jump this down so I have it all in one place. Now, this is just a portion of what's happening in 2.55. So first of all, the 2.55 main story is going to take about 3 hours to complete if done non-stop, all in one sitting. But that's not the big piece of information. First, big detail about 2.55. Final Coil will be added to the Duty Finder, and Echo will be added in smaller patches in between patch 2.55 and the expansion. So if you're looking to finish Final Coil before the expansion, it just got a whole lot easier. They didn't specifically mention nerfing any of the fights. I wouldn't be surprised. Every time Coil has gone into the Duty Finder, it has seen some sort of nerf. So expect it to be made a lot easier in the coming weeks. Personally, not a big fan of the idea, but I can understand. It's been 3 months since patch 2.5 came out. It's going to be another 3 months until 3.0 comes out. This is probably to just add that access to everyone who can unlock it, who has beaten turn 9, into the Duty Finder to make it easier to get done. Easier to get done. Duty Finder, let's be real. Also, the World of Darkness gear limit will be removed, and they will be adding the encrypted tombstone to the weekly quest. So if you still can't beat turn 11 after it's, added to Duty Finder Echo, don't worry, you have options. You will be able to get the encrypted tombstone soon enough and get as much World of Darkness gear as humanly possible. They're also planning on increasing the Manderville Gold Saucer Point rewards of every Gold Saucer event. Chocobo Racing was recently mentioned on the forums, but everything apparently. Triple Triad, Chocobo Racing, the gates, the minigames, apparently everything. I don't know about the minigames, but just they said the Gold Saucer events will see an increase, and Chocobo Racing is definitely confirmed among those things. They're also looking to do adjustments for the Triple Triad tournament. This is to counter win traders winning the tournaments everywhere. So, which has been extremely common. However, since 2.55 is not until March 31st, and we have a tournament coming up on the 17th, I have a feeling that that tournament's still going to be botched, but the ones after that will be okay. They're also going to be balancing some more of the Triple Triad NPCs due to them being too strong, Rowena. Sorry. I'm allergic to bullshit. But anyway, yeah, basically it's, to me, Rowena and Swift are really the two NPCs that are the biggest offenders here. The biggest complaint people have is that the NPCs that make use of random only have 6 or 7 cards to choose between, and they're all 4 or 5 star cards, so they break the rules technically. So I'm not sure what they're going to be doing to make the random weaker, other than maybe giving those NPCs specifically more cards in their deck to choose from, so they can get weaker cards to make it a little bit easier on people. And also, there's going to be a bunch of small patches between 2.55 and 3.0, mostly hot fixes and quality of life stuff like the Echo, but no new content. So, that's everything that we really have to go over. Listen, I know some of you are pissed about a lot of this stuff. Some of you are looking forward to some of this stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section of the video below. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay up to date on all your latest Final Fantasy XIV news and information guides, all that fun stuff. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, take care.